Japanese horror stories have been around almost as long as Japan itself has. As the internet got going, horror fans were able to learn about some of their movies that were never able to be seen before. These movies became to be called J-horror. Before streaming became a thing, people heard of these movies in web forums, then ordered the DVD online and hoped they would be pretty good. One of the early ones I bought was a 1999 movie called Audition, which has English subtitles. Horror movies at the theater or video store were usually a PG or R rating, but now you can buy DVDs that didn't have a rating, and Audition had a lot of people recommending it for the story and the brutality of it. I really like this movie, and Asami is a terrifying villain, but after a few viewings I began to wonder who the real villains in this movie are, because there are a few of them. The first part of this movie is sort of a drama and you're not sure where it's headed, but as things go along it gets pretty disturbing. Here is a quick synopsis. Shigehado's wife dies from an illness. 7 years later, his son encourages him to find a new wife. Shigehado's friend Yasuisa, who's a film producer, makes a fake casting audition for young women to audition for a starring role in a new television series, though they are actually auditioning for the part of Shigehado's new wife. Posing as a casting director, he's intrigued by a woman named Asami who says she's pursuing a career as a ballet dancer until injuries ended her aspirations. Yasuisa is suspicious when he can't reach any of the references in her resume, such as a music producer she said she worked for, who turns out to have gone missing 18 months earlier. Shigeharu pursues her anyway. She lives in a small apartment which contains little more than a large sack and a telephone. She sits by the phone not moving. When their phone rings, she answers and pretends that she never expected him to call. After several dates, she accompanies him to the hotel where he intends to propose marriage. She reveals burn scars on her body and before having sex demands that he pledge his love to her. So he does. In the morning he wakes to find that she has left. He tries to track her down, but all the contacts on her resume are dead ends. At the dance studio where she said she trained, he finds a man with prosthetic feet who admits to having tortured her by burning her legs when she was a child. The bar where she said she worked has been abandoned following the murder and dismemberment of the owner. One man tells him the police found an extra tongue, an extra ear, and 3 extra fingers when they recovered the body. Asami sneaks into Shigeharu's house while he is at work and becomes jealous when he sees a framed picture of his dead wife. So she drugs his liquor. He comes home, drinks the liquor, and collapses. He has hallucinations, including flashbacks to earlier dates with Asami and sexual experiences with other women who came to the audition. Also hallucinating that he's in Asami's apartment, he sees that the sack contains a man who's missing his feet, his tongue, an ear, and 3 fingers. He crawls out begging for food. Asami vomits into a dog bowl, which he consumes. He then watches her behead the man in the dance studio. When he wakes up, she informs him he's been injected with a paralytic agent that disables his muscles, but leaves him conscious to be able to feel, and begins to torture him with acupuncture needles. She tells him that, just like everyone else, he has failed to only love her. She cannot tolerate his feelings for anyone else, even his son. She cuts off one foot with a wire saw, and as she's halfway through cutting off his other foot, his son returns home and she attacks him. Shigeharu wakes up back in the hotel, apparently thinking it was all a nightmare, though this is just a dream when he passed out. During the dream, he proposes to Asami, who accepts, then awakens to find his son fighting her, who kicks her down the stairs, breaking her neck. He tells his son to call the police and stares across the room at the dying Asami, who repeats what she said on one of their dates about her excitement over seeing him again.
すみません、枯れてしまって。今までずっと一人で頑張ってきたけど、私には相談できる人がいなかった。青山さんみたいに温かくて、私の気持ちを包んで分かってくれる人に会ったのは初めてです。
乗り越えるのは辛いけど、でもきっと生きててよかったっていう時がまた必ず来るよ。だからみんな生きてんだから。
I find this ending of the movie really sad, considering that Asami is torturing and killing guys. She is a villain, but the teacher that tortured her as a little girl seems to be what helped to create what she became. So he is also an obvious villain. But what about the less obvious villains? You have these two guys who have money and successful careers, so they use their positions to lure in young ladies who are desperate for an acting job with hopes that these two guys can help their dreams come true. These ladies have probably invested some money and a huge amount of time improving their skills. They show up for this interview, put all their energy into giving their best for a shot at an acting career, and these two guys are just looking for a hookup. And it catches up to one of them. This is not a typical horror movie with the good and bad guys where the good guy wins at the end. All the characters in the movie were bad guys to some degree, and where most movies, horror or otherwise, don't really stick with me, this one did. A remake of this movie is in development. I don't know if they'll be able to capture the sadness of this story. It would be a shame if they didn't, because Asami's backstory makes her one of the most memorable villains in horror. Good night. Boo.